Hi everyone! Now as the temperature approaching high 90s, it is time for some rosé. So today I want to share with you one of the geekiest grape varietal from one of the best winery in Napa, all of Napa Valley. So today I want to talk about and geek out with you on this 2018 Heitz Cellar Grignolino Rosé. That is correct. So Grignolino is the name of the grape, and Heitz Cellar people might be pretty familiar with. They've been around since 1961. They were of Italian immigrant from the Piedmont region. So the original owner had a special place in his heart for this very indigenous, very rare grape called the Grignolino. And since then, I think they used to just make a Grignolino, which is a red grape, obviously, because you can make a rosé from a white grape. But then through the years, they started making a Grignolino port and a Grignolino rosé. And rosé is what we're having today, because on a hot day, nothing better than this to bring in the afternoon. Okay, so let's talk about Grignolino here for a second. So I said earlier, Grignolino is an indigenous grape from northern part of Italy, from the Piemonte region. They also go by a few different synonyms, but that's just the whole Italian thing. Every grape from different region has a different name, and they swear to God it's not the same grape, it's all the same. Nonetheless, Grignolino is also, people have guessed that it came from the Italian or the Latin word Grignoli, which means pips, because the grape itself has 3 to 4 times more pips than most other grapes. And it is a grape that kind of ripens mid to late, and they're often ripen unevenly, and they're pretty susceptible to mildew and other diseases. So kind of a hard grape to handle, hence you don't see a lot of them out there. Definitely a labor of love, and it's very surprising that after 60 years, the Heitz Cellar are still making a Grignolino, now both in the rosé, the red, and the port format. Their 2018 vintage, I actually have not tried any of their rosé. I have tried the reds before, but not their rosé. And the reason why I decided to give this a shot for the 2018 vintage is because they changed the way they made their rosé this vintage. Prior to this vintage, they used to make their rosé in a bleeding method, which means it's a byproduct of making a red wine. So they let the pink juice run out, and in the beginning of them pressing the grape for their red wine. So it's kind of like an afterthought, quote unquote. And some wine experts believe that using that method is not a true rosé. But since the 2018 vintage, they're actually using skin contact. It brings out more freshness, and I'm excited to try that. This is 100% Grignolino. And Grignolino always have a special place in my heart as well, is because it's such a rare grape that most people have never heard of or never tried in their lifetime. I only heard of it when I went and visited Heitz for the first time. By the way, if you're going to Napa on a weekday, Heitz is one of the only winery that is still offering free tasting for the general public. It used to be 7 days a week, and recently they changed it to only weekdays. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. And they poured a Grignolino, and just was so unique. It tastes so different. It's very herbaceous, it's floral. It's a really unique grape that nothing else quite tastes like it. And I remember at the time, because it was so geeky, and I'm just in the beginning of pursuing my sommelier certificate. My mentor at the time, Eric Entrigan, now a master sommelier, was working in the same restaurant I was. So I decided to purchase a bottle to blind taste him on it. And believe it or not, he stick his nose in it for 2 seconds, and he says, wow, this is an interesting grape. It's definitely not something you see all the time. Very floral, very herbaceous, but it's very distinctive. So he's like, if I have to guess, it will be a Grignolino. Kind of when I was completely amazed and shocked at the same time that he was able to do that, and really inspired me to want to become a better taster and a better sommelier from that point forward. So that's my little story on why Grignolino has a special place in my heart. And on top of that, I've always been really fond of a lot of the grape variety coming out of Piemonte. Piemonte just, to me, always produced really aromatic, really elegant, high acidity, high floral tone kind of wine. So this wine, as soon as you stick your nose into it, you still get a Grignolino notes. And to me, the marker for Grignolino is a little bit of that grassy note, almost like fresh cut grass, a little herbaceousness, followed by just kind of little wildflowers kind of a thing going on. Really easy drinking, really light. It's like almost had a kind of a soda-ish feeling to it, even though it's not effervescent by any means. Yeah, ooh, they did a good job this year. The wine is dry. It's not a sweet rosé by any means. The acidity is high because I can feel it coming back. And the wine is very fresh as advertised on their tasting note. By the by, this is the first time I'm tasting it live with you guys. And it's got a nice juicy, like I say, almost like soda pop, cherry, strawberry notes. And really beautiful floral. Every time I get a wine that has floral notes in there, it always draws me in, and this wine definitely has a lot of that. Very delicious. I think they killed it, they crushed it. For this wine, they only made about 1,280 cases for this vintage, so super duper rare. I took the chance and jumped on it before they're sold out because I think it's going to be a great companion for your summer party by yourself, quarantine. But still, why not? So more for you and not have to share with other people. The average price for this bottle of wine online is $30, and I was able to work out a really awesome deal by buying in bulk and stocking up, knowing that I can share with you guys. So I'm offering this wine $19.99 a bottle. I think it's quite a steal. It's a great varietal you're not ever gonna taste anywhere else, and it's a very tasty wine made by one of the most legendary and respected winery in Napa. So today, that concludes our really geeky wine exploration. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful summer.
So does this wine see any oak?
So for the most part, most of the rosé that I encountered doesn't see any oak, so this one included, so there's no oak in there whatsoever. But rarely do you see rosé that goes to oak treatment. It's not impossible. It has been done, but this one in particular, they're going for the fresher style, so there's no oak involved.
Does this wine need to open up at all, or like it doesn't really change over time?
So rosé is one of those wines that are a little more easygoing. It's not quite as serious as your everyday red wine or your serious red wine. These wines are usually just delicious as soon as you open it. My guess is you probably can't age this one. There are a couple rosés, really serious rosé coming out from south of France that can age, that's meant to age, and that are meant to be decanted. Also some rosé from the Rioja region that does that. But this rosé in particular, I do not think the intention from the winemaker was for you to age it at all. The other really good tip to tell you if a bottle can be aged or not is look at the color of the bottle. Have you ever noticed that most red wine are in a black bottle or a dark green bottle? Is because they want to avoid any kind of exposure to sun. But when you see a bottle of wine in a white bottle, usually indicates this bottle need to be drunken pretty soon because this does not protect it from sunlight.
So when I tasted this particular wine, it tasted very reminiscent of a Chardonnay, but with no oak. How would you compare this to a Chardonnay?
Reminds you of a Chardonnay? To me, some of the big key distinction between this and a Chardonnay is that Chardonnay generally have a big apple present, lemon and apple, a combination of either Myers lemon, sweet lemon, tart lemon, whatever, any kind of lemon, and some kind of apple in there. There's always a lemon and apple component in almost every single Chardonnay I've tasted. In addition to that, if you find floral in Chardonnay, it's usually white flower. In a California Chardonnay, even when it's on oak, you can still pick up some tropical fruit, banana, pineapple, melons. But in this wine, is that you get I talked about floral a lot earlier, but it's more of a red floral. It's like a little red flower in there and a lot of herbaceousness.
How much of your smell perception is the fact that you're tasting something that is a rosé, right? Like it makes you think of red fruit.
You would think that, but Grignolino, even in its non-rosé form, I wish I have the regular Grignolino that they make. It is still a very floral and very herbaceous grape. It's very different from a lot of other grapes. For example, if you're comparing it to like say a Cabernet you don't really you get floral, but it's a purple floral like violet, but they are more dark fruit dominated. Whereas in a Grignolino, I would say if I really have to link it to a grape that it will remind me of is more or less a Gamay. But Gamay is very juicy, fruity, like cherry, cranberry, bubblegummy, teardroppy, like almost sweet-like. Whereas in this one, it's a lot leaner. It's more like a herb salad with a little flower, edible flower put on top of it. You don't even get a bunch of that cherry, cranberry, strawberry thing in this wine. It's more floral herbal dominant first than anything else. So, and I'm not getting any of that lemon, apple, or any tropical fruit that you would normally find in a Chardonnay, rather it is from California or from France, single or not single. So that's kind of how I would place this one. But still very enjoyable because it's not, because it's such a rare grape and it's a combination of aromas that you don't normally find in the grapes that you're more familiar with. So it's always fun to challenge your palate to learn and adapt and experience new things. So that's why I recommend trying this rosé if you never had it before. I don't know where I was.